The Secret Within: Why the World's Oldest People Are Activating a Cellular Superpower You Shut Down Every Day. Picture this. It's 1975 in Okinawa, Japan, and the world is about to get a wake-up call about what is truly possible for human longevity. Dr. Makoto Suzuki, a young, skeptical cardiologist, received an unbelievable call from a colleague urging him to visit a centenarian in Yomaten village. Expecting a frail, bedridden patient, Dr. Suzuki instead found a 100-year-old woman outside, energetically cutting grass with a sickle. She was so vibrant, so full of life, that she didn't even consider her health or age to be unusual. That single life-altering moment sparked a 50-year quest to unlock the secrets hidden inside the bodies of these Okinawan elders, secrets that could literally add decades of quality life to your own journey. But here is the critical part, the one thing you need to understand right now. While Dr. Suzuki was documenting these incredible centenarians, a completely different Japanese scientist was making a discovery so groundbreaking it would win him the Nobel Prize, revealing the biological reason why the Okinawans lived so long and how you are currently turning off that same vital switch. Dr. Yoshinori Osumi had stumbled upon the existence of tiny microscopic heroes, cellular janitors, working inside every single cell in your body, capable of devouring cancer cells, burning fat, and actively reversing the damage of aging. The shocking, terrifying truth is that these biological superheroes only spring into action under very specific, narrow conditions, and most of us, through daily, seemingly harmless habits, accidentally shut them down before they can even clock in for their shift. Today we are going to reveal how these Japanese pioneers cracked the code of cellular regeneration and, more importantly, the precise hidden switch you can flip starting tonight to activate this powerful built-in superpower. The Nobel Secret: Unlocking Your Body's Built-in Fountain of Youth. The year was 1988, and Dr. Yoshinori Osumi was locked in his lab, staring through a microscope at yeast cells and grappling with profound frustration. For months, he had been trying to understand why cells sometimes appeared to eat themselves, a concept his peers largely dismissed as mere cellular garbage disposal. However, Osumi's gut instinct told him he was onto something much more significant. He engineered special yeast cells and, crucially, starved them of nutrients. What he witnessed next was a monumental scientific breakthrough. Under the microscope, he saw cellular structures he had never encountered before, like tiny Pac-Man gobbling up damaged cellular parts, recycling the refuse and turning it into fresh energy and new building materials. He had officially discovered autophagy, a Greek term that literally means self-eating, which is, without question, your body's most powerful anti-aging self-repair mechanism. This process is far more than just cleaning house. It is a full-scale renovation crew that tears down old, weak, and damaged cellular components and meticulously rebuilds the cell stronger, cleaner, and more efficient than before. The scientific world was stunned. Here was irrefutable proof that the body possessed a built-in fountain of youth. Yet, there was an inescapable catch. Autophagy only properly activates when your body perceives it is in a state of mild stress or survival mode. Dr. Osumi quickly realized that the ancient, seemingly simple eating habits of the Japanese centenarians were inadvertently, perfectly triggering this vital cellular process every single day. The Okinawa Code, the 80% full rule, and the cellular night shift. Meanwhile, back in Okinawa, Dr. Suzuki could not shake the image of the vigorous, grass-cutting centenarian. As he began visiting and documenting more elderly residents, his findings completely defied everything the medical world knew about aging. These people weren't just living longer, they were living better. They were still farming at 95, still dancing at 100. Their arteries were cleaner than most 50-year-olds, and their cancer rates were practically non-existent. Their secret was not found in expensive pills or complex medical procedures, but in a simple, intentional action they performed 3 times a day without fail. Dr. Suzuki discovered they followed an ancient Confucian principle called Hara Hachibu. Before every single meal, they would quietly remind themselves to Eat until you are 8 parts full, not stuffed, not completely satisfied, but simply comfortably content. It sounds disarmingly simple, but here is the biological genius Dr. Suzuki uncovered. By consistently stopping at 80% fullness, these centenarians were intentionally creating the exact mild stress conditions needed to flip the vital autophagy switch. Their cells were given just enough of a break to trigger the cleanup and repair process, but not so much that it caused harmful depletion. Visualize your cells as a busy factory. If you constantly flood it with new food materials, every worker is preoccupied with processing the incoming shipment, leaving no time for maintenance. By contrast, when you give the factory a pause by stopping at 80%, the essential night shift crew, the cellular janitors, arrive to clean, repair, and toss out all the damaged equipment. The 105-year-old doctor and the master switch of time. The story takes an even more compelling turn with the introduction of Dr. Shigeyaki Hinohara, a man who became a living testament to these principles, working and thriving until the age of 105. Early in his career, Dr. Hinohara had a revelation. He noticed that every patient struggling with serious digestive problems was also struggling everywhere else. Their skin looked aged, their energy was chronically low, and their immune systems were weak. He realized something profound that we are just beginning to grasp. Your gut health is the master switch for everything else in your body. He developed what he called his life extension protocol, which was surprisingly uncomplicated. Dr. Hinohara would eat a light breakfast, a minimal lunch, and save his main meal for dinner. But the essential key, the action that made all the difference, was that he would finish eating by 6 p.m. and would not eat again until 10 a.m. the following day. This practice ensured a consistent 16-hour window where his body was entirely focused on deep repair. The results were extraordinary. At 100, Dr. Hinohara was still actively seeing patients, and at 102, he was flying internationally to give lectures, frequently working 18-hour days with energy levels that put people half his age to shame. When asked for his secret, he would simply smile and say, "I give my body time to clean house every night." The convergence? Finding the optimal cellular repair window. Simultaneously, Dr. Hiromi Shina, a Japanese-American doctor, was making shocking discoveries that further substantiated the importance of timing. He invented a new way to look inside the digestive system, and over 3 decades, he examined more than 300,000 people's colons. What he found allowed him to predict a person's overall health simply by examining their digestive tract. People who consumed processed foods, excess meat and dairy had thick, shortened colons riddled with damage. Conversely, those who followed a traditional Japanese diet had colons that were longer, cleaner, and looked decades younger. But the one observation that truly blew his mind was that the people with the healthiest, most resilient guts were those who regularly gave their digestive systems extended breaks. They were not following complicated diets. They were simply mimicking their ancestors by naturally eating within a compressed window and fasting for extended periods. Dr. Shina realized that a constantly active digestive system never gets a chance to repair itself. It's only when you give your gut 14 to 16 hours of genuine rest that the cellular lining begins to regenerate. The liver shifts into its deep cleaning mode, and your entire body enters a systemic repair state. Now, all of these discoveries perfectly converge into a powerful, actionable insight you can use tonight. Dr. Osumi's Nobel Prize research revealed that autophagy doesn't just happen randomly. There is a specific window when it reaches its highest level of activity, and it's not when most people think. While many believe the magic occurs during sleep, that's only half the story. The intense, deep cellular repair activation occurs in the final hours of the overnight fast, typically when your body has been without food for 12 to 16 hours. That is when your cellular janitors clock in for their most intensive work shift. The tragedy of modern eating patterns is that we intentionally shut down this vital process before it can work its magic. We wake up and immediately flood our systems with food, sending a premature signal that says, "Cancel the cleanup crew, new shipments are arriving." The Japanese centenarians learned to extend that magical window, stretching it to 16 or even 18 hours, a time during which their cells were not just surviving, but actively rebuilding, regenerating, and growing stronger. The strategy, more than just timing, it's the fuel. Dr. Suzuki's decades of research also revealed a fascinating secondary layer to the centenarians' secret. They weren't just eating less, they were fueling their bodies with completely different foods than the rest of Japan. While the main Japanese carbohydrate was white rice, the Okinawans primarily ate purple sweet potatoes. This was not a cultural accident. These sweet potatoes are uniquely packed with compounds that actively enhance autophagy. They register low on the glycemic index, meaning they do not spike your insulin, which is the immediate signal to shut down the cellular cleanup process. Instead, they provide slow, steady energy while keeping the body in an optimal state that promotes deep cellular repair. The sweet potatoes were merely the cornerstone. Dr. Suzuki documented that the centenarians filled their plates with bitter melon, which helps regulate blood sugar, various forms of seaweed, providing essential detoxification minerals, and vibrant vegetables in every color of the rainbow, all acting as specialized tools for their cellular repair kit. They were also strategic about what they drank. Dr. Suzuki noted a daily tea ritual lasting hours, involving green tea, jasmine, and special Okinawan blends. The polyphenols in green tea, for example, protect cells during the repair phase, while the slow, mindful sipping of the tea throughout the day naturally helped them practice portion control without even having to think about it, further optimizing cellular regeneration. The Japanese longevity protocol, a step-by-step activation. What Dr. Suzuki, Dr. Hinohara, and Dr. Shina all discovered independently was that timing wasn't just important, it was everything. The human body is engineered to operate on ancient rhythms that depend on predictable periods of feasting and fasting. When we constantly disrupt these rhythms with non-stop eating, we actively break the very mechanisms designed to keep us healthy and young. The optimal pattern they all converged upon is remarkably simple. Finish your last meal by 6 or 7 p.m. Go to bed with a slightly empty stomach. Wake up and wait at least 12 hours, preferably 16 before your first substantial meal. During this extended quiet window, your body's cellular repair crews are working overtime, fixing damage, eliminating toxins, and quite literally rebuilding you from the inside out. This is not about deprivation or an extreme diet. It is simply about working with your body's natural ancient rhythms, exactly as the centenarians of Okinawa have done for generations. The sobering reality is that Dr. Suzuki's recent research shows that younger Okinawans who have adopted Western patterns, processed foods, constant snacking, late-night meals, are rapidly losing their longevity advantage, confirming that genetics is not destiny, behavior is. If adopting harmful modern habits can destroy longevity, then adopting these centenarian habits can unequivocally restore it. Your cellular repair systems are ready, waiting for the signal to spring back into action. Based on 5 decades of convergent research from these Japanese pioneers, here is your step-by-step sequence to activate this ancient wisdom, starting tonight. Week 1, the 80% rule. At every meal, pause when you feel about 80% full. This is not about counting calories, it's about tuning into your body's signal. You should feel satisfied, but never stuffed or sleepy. Week 2, extend the overnight fast. Start with a manageable 12-hour fast between your last and first meal. If you finish dinner at 7 p.m., don't eat until 7 a.m. Once this feels comfortable, gradually stretch it to 14 hours, then to 16. Week 3, transform your morning. Instead of immediately eating solid food, start your day with fresh vegetable juice, like carrot or apple, blended with a tablespoon of olive oil or a cup of herbal or green tea. Wait 20 minutes before consuming any solid food to gently transition your body from the fasted to the fed state, maximizing the benefits of both phases. Week 4, optimize your main meal. Following the Okinawan model, make your main meal a celebration of colorful whole foods, purple sweet potatoes, leafy greens, seaweed, tofu, and small amounts of fish or lean meat, seasoned with powerful autophagy enhancers like turmeric, ginger, and garlic. What can you genuinely expect as your cellular cleanup crews get back to work? The transformation happens in distinct waves, just as Dr. Suzuki observed in his subjects. Within the first 7 days, you will notice significantly improved energy, especially the elimination of that classic late afternoon crash, and your sleep will deepen as your body shifts into its optimal repair rhythms. In weeks 2 to 4, your mental clarity will improve dramatically. The infamous brain fog will disappear, and your skin will start looking clearer and more radiant. You may even notice your clothes fitting better as your body becomes ruthlessly efficient at processing energy. By months 2 to 6, this is where the long-term magic appears. Your immune system strengthens, minor aches and pains start to vanish, and people will inevitably begin commenting that you look younger and more vibrant. As Dr. Makoto Suzuki continues to conduct research today at 92 years old, proving that the curiosity and joy of learning driving his centenarians continues to drive him, and as Dr. Osumi's Nobel research has confirmed, your body has an incredible capacity for self-renewal, but only when you intentionally provide the right conditions. The profound wisdom these Japanese pioneers discovered is not locked away in complicated, expensive treatments. It is available to anyone willing to work with their body's ancient rhythms instead of constantly fighting them. Tonight, as you finish your last meal a little earlier than usual, remember that you are not just changing your eating schedule. You are awakening powerful cellular repair systems that have been patiently waiting for this signal, joining a tradition that stretches back through generations of the world's longest-lived people. Your transformation begins with that single intentional choice, the gift of time, to allow your body to heal, repair, and regenerate itself. The results, as thousands of Japanese centenarians can attest, are absolutely extraordinary.